A magician's favorite dog is a Labracadabra. My name is Victor Ashley, and I'm a real estate agent out of Seattle, Washington. This is how you get a hold of me. Also, while you're at it, feel free to hit subscribe or like, because I cover a lot of different areas, topics, zip codes, and I might be talking about your neighborhood next, or I could be talking about your future neighborhood, or even your friend's neighborhood. So feel free to like and share. So I also covered yesterday a short series on the basics of buying and home buying. You could reach it, you can watch it right here. But I just wanted to point that out for you. But that's the back to basics, and I get asked a lot of rudimentary questions all the time, or where do I even begin, or what's the next step, and that's what I covered in that video. So feel free to take a look at it. Also, let's get into our Queen Anne review, because this might be why you came here today. Well, Queen Anne is located right next to the Space Needle. The Space Needle is what I use as my general purpose point that I reference all the time to people. But Queen Anne is located right next to the Space Needle inside of Seattle. Also, because I like to add a little bit of flavor to this, Tiger is a restaurant that I found recently that I really appreciate. It's a Szechuanese Chinese restaurant, and again, I'm not a food reviewer, but I do actually review foods all the time, and I have about 4 million views on my reviews inside of Google Guide. So just if you have any questions on that, I know where a lot of these good places to eat are, but that's just outside of Queen Anne by 2 blocks. So I just didn't want to point it out too much to you. But let's get into the actual description of what I actually found here. Now, if you're new to me, let me go back and actually tell you what I kind of do. So what I do is I pull all of the homes that are in the zip code that we're talking about today. And today it's the 98119. And I only review the homes that are under $1 million. The reason why I review the homes that are under $1 million is because that's where the highest likelihood of buyer curve to be done. So I just want to point this out. This is where the majority of people can afford. And at the same time, everything that is sold typically happens between $400,000 and $800,000 roughly, because that's where the majority of people actually make their income. Well, let's get into it right now, because when I pulled this up, I came up with 18 homes that were in the Queen Anne area, all under $1 million. Now, I break it down on a price per square foot range, and the price per square foot is on the left-hand side here. But I have it organized from lowest to highest. How we get that is we take the listing price and we divide it by the square footage that's listed, and that's how we get a price per square foot breakdown. Now, at the same time, it doesn't cover things like how big your lawn is or any kind of upgrades that you have, but this gives you a good idea of how much they're pricing the house, and it's just a good ballpark figure that you can have an idea, and you can actually figure out how much the house might be worth. Now, talking about that, our average in this area is $595 a square foot. And our average home for sale under $1 million is $547,000. List price right now on average, and it's been on the market for 47 days. It is 1.5 bedrooms, so let's just call it 2 bedrooms and 1 bath, and 970 square feet. Also, to give you an idea on that, if you were to turn around and you decided that you want to rent this instead of buy it, average rents right now for this style of house are $2,500 roughly. Now, I can attest to that because I also live in Queen Anne, and roughly my house is about 270 square feet smaller than this. Mine is a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 700 square foot, and I pay just over $2,000 a month. So this is roughly the rent in this area. The rents come out to $2.63 a square foot, and that's how that works out per month. Now, on the mortgage side, if you were to mortgage this house, roughly with a $35,000 down payment, I wanted to get into that for you. So you'd be looking at a household income of about $160,000 and low monthly debts. You want your debts as low as possible when you're doing this, just it makes it more affordable to do this. A down payment, I use $35,000, but down payment is completely up to you and what you want to do. And then at the same time, I average the interest rates right now at 7.125 and the credit score being at least 700. I want to take a quick note and just tell everybody again, and I want to just emphasize this one more time for everybody, but everybody's financial situation, FICO score, where you're at in your home buying journey is completely up to you and you alone. This is your story. I'm just here to help you write it. Let's get back into it right now. So this is the basics of what you would need to actually afford a $547,000 house in this area. And then what that would look like on a monthly payment, you'd be paying about $34.70 in monthly payment, just so you're aware. And that is only your payment and your interest. This does not include any taxes, insurance, fees, or even the big one, HOAs. In my previous video that I had covering this area, I did do a breakdown of the HOAs, and we're looking at HOAs in this area of being around $600 a month. Now, let's get into our list here, because there was one or two that I actually wanted to point out to you. But this one, let me show you this one first. This is number 18. And number 18, the reason why I'm doing this one is because this one is a single family house and there is no HOA right now. Now, keep in mind, that makes it more affordable. Now, our price per square foot average, again, was $595 a square foot, right? That's correct. That's why you come here and you want to watch these videos with me. Well, the price per square foot on this one, which is a single family house, is a $505 a square foot. Now, again, we get into the house and I wanted to pull it up to you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely put together, and I'm having a little issues with my internet today, so I apologize for that. But it's, it's redone. It looks beautiful on the inside. Everything looks good. It's properly staged. And here's the thing too. It has an offer review date of today. So over this weekend, people have actually been going and looking at it, and they are bidding on this. Now, we already know it is 20% below market average in this area. So more than likely, this is going to go for $1.1 million, because all of the single family houses in this area are going for in that range. And again, I actually take a look at it and I have an idea of what these are looking at. We have, of our 18 homes that are available today, 2 of them are single family houses, and those are under $1 million. So just so you have an idea, this one right here is an anomaly. We are seeing some multiple offers happen and over asking price. And this one specifically is more than likely going to go over market. Well, let's take a look at one that is right next to it in the price point, and just give you an idea of what we're looking at. And that's number 18. Number 18, and again, I'm going to pull this up for you. Number 18 is a condo. It's been on the market for 182 days, and it's in the same price point as the other house that we just talked about. It's actually bigger too. And it comes out to $512 a square foot. So when we get into this, instead of getting into a bidding war at that one, if you can live in a condo, this one's going to work. You're going to be able to find a house, and you're going to be able to actually win in the bidding process instead of competing with 5, 10, or 15 other people, because you want that really, really shiny new home. So keep that stuff in mind, because I also cover this because I want you to have an idea of how you're going to be experiencing different things going into the market. Now, if you have questions on this stuff directly, you can hit me up, and my number is right here, as always, and you can just give me a holler. I'm right here. It's my number. Thank you. And then HOAs on this one. HOAs are going to be high. HOAs are $1,100 a month, and more than likely, that's the reason why no one's bought this one yet. So in closing, I just wanted to go over some of the trends that I'm seeing in this area. Now, our market average is $595 a square foot, but at the same time, we're seeing multiple offers on ones that are being priced below market and are actually nicer. Now, keep that in mind when you're in your bidding process and you don't get hit by the FOMO bug. If you have questions on this, you can reach me right here. And I really appreciate you subscribing. And as always, it was a pleasure working with you today. And I hope you have a fantastic day.